What is up, guys? Welcome back. We had a situation with bunnies. We were planning to build additional breeding cages, more of a nursing / grow out cage, so mom and babes have more space to hang out together until they're weaned. I needed to build the cages anyway. I think I only have enough material for one, so I'm just gonna make one. You'll get the idea. So this is the mesh for the sidewalls. And then I have this fencing / mesh, whatever you want to call it. This has the same size openings as the sidewalls. This is going to be the roof. And then this fence has 1/2 inch by 1 inch openings. This wire is on the bottom, and this will keep the baby bunnies from falling through and ending up in the litter pan and dying. They're that small when they're born sometimes, and they wiggle a lot. So 1/2 inch by 1 inch, 1 inch by 1 inch. And this is also 1 inch by 1 inch mesh. So we bought this specifically in these dimensions because it's cheaper to buy this roll and cut it in half and then buy that roll there and use that as is without cutting it. Because if I tried to use this mesh for the top as well, this is 36 inches. I would just have 12 inches of extra wasted material here. It was cheaper to buy the wall mesh, cut it in half, makes 2 walls, the top mesh and the bottom mesh all separate. If you look at a lot of the store-bought cages, you will see that they use what are called J-clips to clip it together. And then you have to buy these special pliers. Your J-clip goes in here. When I start putting it together, I'll show you in more detail. So there's the J-clip in there, and then when I squeeze these pliers together, it's gonna round this clip off and it'll make basically a circle or a C and holds the 2 pieces of wire together. I'm gonna cut this down the middle. I'm gonna use 17 squares, so 17 inches. This is total 36 inches, so I'll have 17 inches and I'll be missing a square, and then I'll have another 17 inches. That's only 35. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So I'm cutting 2 squares out of the middle. Otherwise it wouldn't be even. This one would be 18 and then this one would be 17 because you're losing this wire in the middle. And yes, y'all, I do actually own safety glasses. It's better if you have all your tools set up before you start. I am making this 42 inches long and or 42 squares because they are exactly 1 inch. Don't touch that, it is hot. This one's gonna flatten this a bit. It's never gonna be perfect. Good enough. And then you're left with these cool pieces. So remember, this is our top, and I want it to be just as long as the sides. See what happens when we line it up. There's a lot of wobble in this situation, so this is bubbled up here, this is bubbled out there. I'm guessing I'm off by 1 by the time I stretch everything out. Yep, off by 1. Should have gone short, but I didn't. So we have our top and our 2 sides. This is our bottom, and this is all leftover material from when I built all the original rabbit cages. Let's see if I can find a picture to pop in here. Try to flatten that out as much as I can. Okay, easy peasy. So what we do is when we build our sidewalls, we go flush in the front. This will be the front of the cage. This will have the door opening. When we go and build our back wall, we leave 1 inch between the back of the cage and the wall. That leaves a little bit of a space so the rabbits aren't digging at the wall. I don't know if it's helped us or not. It's just not having it flat against the wall so stuff can fall down and out of the way. If they get hay everywhere, it'll drop out the back. I kind of like it, so we'll just put that 1 space back there. And then this guy, let me move all this so it's confusing and all. Just line it up there a little bit. I like to overbuild things. I hate myself later when I have to tear it apart, but I like it to be strong like bull. These pliers are not the most fun things to work with. Everything's harder on video. Or just let me get this first one on here. Okay, so you see that clip just goes a little bit around, turns into a nice round little thing and holds it together there. Let me get a few more on here and then you can see what it really does. I go about every 4th hole. So there's 1, 2, 3, and I'll go right here. Kind of hard to get started, but then once you get stuff kind of getting held together, it goes quite nicely. Now you can take this and stand it up, which I will do, and I will lay it over so I can put my other side wall on. So remember this one here, I'm going to go 1 inch off the back, just to give us that extra space off the wall. Probably skip 3 holes and go in the 4th hole generally, but that's all the clips I have, and I don't really want to have to go buy more. I got that off just a tiny little bit down here. It ain't gonna move, so I'll get that sorted. So you got front wall, back wall, and bottom. Clamp that one there. Make sure your 1 inch gap is on the same side. This will all straighten itself out once you get everything hooked together. Welcome back. I started this actually before Thanksgiving. Just haven't really made it back around to wrapping it up. So we're gonna do that today. I use a lot of scrap leftover. These sit around and they collect dust and debris, more leftover stuff that I was trying to figure out if I could use. Hoping this one fits. It actually does. But yeah, so this fits actually almost perfectly. That is that side. I'm gonna go ahead and get this all hooked up so it's a little more solid there. So much. This was in the rabbit barn, so it's got hair all over. So that's it. That is the cage right there. This 1 inch lip you guys see here will hold this off of the wall. So there'll be a little bit of room for debris to drop to the floor. So our last cages we made, we had our original building for the tool shed and the chicken coop. We built on to the back side of that. So the rabbits in reality live outside of the main barn, but inside of the rabbit barn built on. And what we did is we came through the tool barn with all thread that are like 2 feet long, threaded all the way down. Here's your wall. We put a bolt on this side and we put a bolt on this side to hold the bar out like this. And then we just slid the rabbit cages onto those bars. This is not going to happen that way. That would require me to put all thread on the outside of the barn exposed to the weather. I think what I'm going to do is just take a wood strip, mount it right here on the cage, and then I will drill through this into the wall, and then that'll support the cage. Got to cut a door in the front of this, and to do that I'm going to have to go up and measure the door. And before I do any of that, I'm gonna have to go ask the lovely if she wants the door right in the center or if she wants it, it's gotta be in the center. If I put it off to one side, then I gotta reach in and all the way down to one end if I need to get a baby rabbit or if I need to get mama or just to clean. So that'd be a nightmare, so it's gonna go right in the middle. So I've gone up, I've counted the doors. We make our doors 11 by 11. That's big enough to get a nesting box into, and that helps not totally destroy the structural integrity of the cage. The New Zealands can go anywhere from 10, 12, 15 pounds. I don't think we have one bigger than that. So I'm gonna try to find center. We do a 12 by 12 door to cover our 11 by 11 opening. If you see this little bit of wire that's here that somebody used to fill a hole in this rabbit urine where it's stained or eaten the metal, the white there. This came from an old rabbit hutch. You guys go back and look at my pig video, my most recent video expanding the buck pen. Those houses that I show you in those videos used to be rabbit hutches that were almost 6 feet tall. Basically what I did was tore those apart, covered where it used to be screened with wood, cut the legs off so that the goats and the pigs could use them, and then put them out in the field, put a new roof on it, and worked really, really well for that purpose. This is why you always see crap laying around here, because I do reuse everything. So we're gonna use the J-clips to attach the door. If I'm standing in front of the rabbit cage, it's hanging on the wall, the door's gonna open down like this and fall down out of the way. And then I can reach in there, do what I need to do. So this is gonna get J-clipped down here. Now ideally what I'd like to do is get a clip here, right in this very sharp corner here, and pull this across. Now that's stuck from going too far that way. And then I'm gonna do the same thing on this end down here. Now that gives us a hinge door. This is the edge of the door right here. I've put this clip here and this clip here. So now that door cannot go sideways that way or that way. So it's stuck there. So I'll do a couple more in the middle. And now you have a fully hinged door that covers about 1/4 inch on both sides. Should be a 1/2 inch, but it's really only 1/4, maybe 3/8. And then you have 1 inch at the top. We buy these online. It's cheaper by the dozen, so the more cages you're making, the cheaper they are. I always check my top length first. If I just hook this to the top up here, and then when I try to hook this, it's way up here. So I'm gonna hook my clip there first, get a little bit of a stretch on, and then I'm gonna put it on, so that's gonna might be put it on right here. These things are kind of a pain to get on. Okay, so that's on there, and then just stretch that up and hook it there, and that keeps your door from coming down. So the spring clips there, pull that, let your door down, you have access to your rabbits. The other thing I wanted to show you are these. I brought one down from the rabbit barn just to show you really quickly. These are, I guess we'll call them note binders. So we cut these to fit on the edges of the cage like this. They're a pain to get on. They're a lot easier for the rabbits to get off. And we used 4 per cage. Even though I did use the grinder to trim off these edges, if you're reaching in a cage and you drag your hand across this metal, it is gonna cut you. You pop this door open in the morning, the rabbit's gonna come out here and hang on the door, say hello, get pets. So we put these on here and it covers this sharp edged metal, like right here. Keeps those covered up, just so nobody gets scratched or snagged on that. You can see how sharp it is right there. I've already cut myself, but I don't like gloves. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just cut the wood to fit on here, and then I will get that stapled onto the cage. Then we'll take it up and we'll put it in the barn. I never feel like there's a safe way to use this thing. I mean, I love it, don't get me wrong, but I tend to overbuild, which means my stuff doesn't fall apart. It also means I hate myself when I go back to recycle something and do another project, because then I'm suffering through trying to tear it apart. Safety third, safety third. Oh, I missed. I'll be back. All right, well, kind of left you guys out. I brought this up here. I don't ever show you the rabbit barn because it's always a mess. Rabbits are dirty, nasty things, even though they're the most adorable little rodents. Technically rodents. The dinosaurs are angry. I brought the cage up. I had it on the wall. I went to get the lovely H's approval. She came up. She said, "That's upside down." So what I had to do was take it back down, put another board on there, and I'll just show you that in a minute. But I wanted to give you guys a tour of the rabbit barn. It's a mess. Don't send me hate mail. It's a work in progress. The process that I just did with that small cage, that's exactly the same process I did with these 3 cages. So what we were able to do was roll out 16 feet of wire, cut it in half. That's your front and back. And then we did the 16 feet for the top, 16 feet for the bottom. The problem, and the reason I'm building, not necessarily the problem, we were going to build these anyway. Yeah, okay, let me just explain everything at once. We set our jugs in there because Finnegan, you guys know Finnegan, the barn cat, the barn kitty, Fluff's brother. He's this side of the farm. He does rabbit barn, chicken coop, and tool barn. He also takes care of the house garage for rodent control because he's a male. He is neutered, but he covers a very, very large territory. But if we don't put that water inside of one of those nesting boxes, he will knock it over, as you can see, and soak the floor. Nothing like coming up here in the morning with a gallon of water on the floor. So what we have, this is a whole situation, don't get mad at me. I put this here because these have settled. This should be a 2-inch gap like this, and now it's that big. So these are settling out. What I was telling you guys we had done, I don't want to bug her too much. She looks like she's feeding babies. You see this metal bar right here? That goes through the wall and is bolted on this side and on the other side of the wall as like a compression. We have 1, 2, 3, 5 of those supporting all 16 feet of this cage. Cage isn't that heavy. When we started, we were doing Polish rabbits. Ah, baba. The Polish rabbits are only about 3.5 pounds top weight. So it was nothing as far as weight is concerned with, you know, supporting these cages. Then we went up to the big chunks, the New Zealands. These are the little babes, guys. I said I'd give you an update on. We have already sold 5 of the buns. We still have these 4 remaining. They are 8.5 weeks old. These guys are 6.5 weeks old. Hi. I don't know why you're all on one side. Fine. These guys are just over a week old. Hi. Mom's in there feeding them right now. So one, I need to get all this lifted up, and I'm gonna show you how we're gonna hang this cage and how I'm gonna support that better. And then we're gonna repeat that process on all of these cages. This is Van Gogh. Nobody wanted to buy Van Gogh when he was a babe because his mom overcleaned him and licked off half his ear. Ergo, Van Gogh. And he's a sweetie, Mr. Van Gogh. Mom bunnies sometimes will overclean a bunny's ear and lick it right off or chew it off or whatever. So what we have, these are our breed out cages. What happened was these rabbits were not picked up and I don't have anywhere to put them right now. We would normally move another rabbit down here and then we would start mom off in one of these breeding cages. I'll show you why we call it a breeding cage. This is 2 cages. And what we've done is cut a doorway right here. So we can house rabbits in both cages if we need or want to. And then when mom is having babies, we just open that door like that. And then she has 2 full cages as a grow out pen. So, oh, hi, you can't leave. Hi, cutie. So I need to do a lot of work in here. The problem is these cages have sagged so far that this is no longer level. That is level right there. And when that happens, if they dump their water or they pee, it runs all down to one end and then it drips off. And I try to keep them as clean as possible every day. But sometimes they'll flip both water containers and then water runs out, drips on the floor. So I'm gonna lift everything up and level everything off. We're gonna move this mom probably into the new cage, which is going over there. And I'll probably do 2. I'll do 1 there and I'll build another one of those and put it below it. I don't like them too low. If they're too low and you have little babies hanging in the bottom of the cage, we do have a barn cat in here. He will take their legs off. So you just have to be cautious of that. So we keep them high up. All the moms are up on the top or the middle row where Finny can't get up there. It's just prey instinct. We originally intended that was going to be all storage. Haven't gotten that far. I mean, it's taken me 3 weeks just to shoot this one video. I screwed up the cage. I had to go back. But now I'm ready to mount it on the wall and I'm going to run out of daylight, of course, because it's freaking December and there's no sun in this cursed country. Shout it out if you know which movie I'm talking about. That's what I did. That's why I screwed it up. I put my door on upside down. Okay, that is what it is. I'll have to rearrange the door. It's gonna roughly go about the same height as the other cages, but right there. I guess since that board's on there, I'm just gonna go ahead and drop some screws in that too. The reason I put my board on the wrong side is because I put my door on upside down because I was not paying attention. I do not want the door upside down. I like our doors on the bottom. So if Big Philly wants to come out here, this is Big Philly. What up, Philly? If he wants to come out here and sit and just get pets, he can do that. Now I'm kind of torn because this actually feels really secure, but I don't know if it'll just start sagging eventually. At least we could get bunnies in today because I feel okay about it. And then what I'm gonna do is run a metal bar through here and I'll wrap a wire around that metal bar and attach it to the roof joist there. And then I'll do one over here, pull that up to the ceiling, and that'll hold it up in the front. And then that's what I'm gonna do all the way along here. Well, let me fix this door. There's the little adorable one. But we moved mom and the babes with that little face peeking out. Hi. Are you gonna come see me? Or are you coming to get hay? Look at you, so cute and brave. Mom is a little nervous, making sure everybody's okay, checking on everybody. Aren't you brave, little guy? Got a sleep pile going on right here, so there's the killer. Hi, this is why we can't have babies down low. Get in a fight with something, your ear's torn up. Yes, I know. I'm trying to see if you have a burr or a tick or you just got your ear torn. It's hard to believe with your cute and cuddly that you're a stone cold killer, but you are. So you're in the murder business. I saw you murdering something the other day. You had a big old rat. All right, that's rabbit cages. It turned into way more than I wanted it to or planned for it to be, but other stuff had to get done in the middle of everything. Oh, where's this? Is my favorite rabbit still here? Yes. Look at this little bun right here. Look at this little perfect dots down her back. She almost has the Hoto eye. Got the little dot on her cheek right there. I just love these little boop, 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 boop. And then this is her other side. Don't jump down there. Okay, that's the bunny barn. Very hard to keep clean. Bunnies are dirty, who knew? But they're also adorable. The little babies are coming out. You can do it. You can do it. Checking out your new digs. That's the one right there. You're so cute. That's a lot of white though. So you guys can see mom in there. Kind of. And then the cute little babes. Hi. Okay, I will leave you with parkour bunnies. Parkour! Parkour! Somebody parkour? Nobody? Nothing? Parkour! Sorry, I had to laugh. It was cute.